Hi, this is Leslie Hayes here with the Leslie Hayes Show. Welcome back for another episode. We're here setting up for a wedding today. I can't wait to show you what we have. Come on, follow along and I'll show you what's going on today. This is Evie. She works with me at LOM Productions, and I guess she's been with me 2 years now.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, almost 2 years. So your last minute helped me out. We needed cocktail tables.
Yes.
So it's nice to have an employee that's in Fresno. Yeah. So she picked them up before she came down.
Happy to help.
Yes, and she's doing the silverware.
That
was cute. So just always working out here, but we're getting ready for this wedding. She's finishing up the silverware you've got?
Yeah, silverware, almost done.
Almost done, okay. And then last minute napkins on the tables. So this is
showtime.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, oh, hey, how are you, Andre? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, I just want to let you know we have like some snack trays for the bridal party just as a gift
Okay,
too.
good.
Whenever you want them, we can bring them now or later.
Let me walk over there with you. I'll swing by that way and see if they want them. Do you want them for during cocktail or whenever?
It's just for them, like if they want before, you know, because everything's going crazy. So they have a little snack, and then when we have the pass apps, we'll have some of the appetizers just for them to go to.
Okay, perfect. Do you have the snacks on this side or are they on the other side?
Oh yeah, we parked like where we talked about last time, like on the.
I'm gonna meet you over there. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So we've been setting up this morning since about 9:30, 9:45, and look at how beautiful this is. Working on this. We've still got the candles to go out, but it's a little warm today. So we're gonna wait. We've got some cylinder vases and triplicates for these tables, 2 on each side with some little votives on each side. And the farm tables, we've got the round tables, got the menu cards out. This is just great. Lighting by Eric Hess from Light Up the Walls, who did one of my shows before. So he came out here yesterday and put up all of the market lights. We've had the rentals with all of that come yesterday. Dance floor went down yesterday. Of course, everything on the table we put down this morning. The bride has some really great ideas. Look at this. I want to show you guys this right here. This is the seating chart. How unconventional is this? Super cute, right? So we're keeping it over here for now, but it's gonna go on this table right here as guests walk in, because what's gonna happen, let me walk you over here to the ceremony area. So this property has like really 3 sides, because some people choose to get married on this side, and some people choose to get married on the other side. We got married on the other side over there, much smaller wedding. So you can have this as your ceremony and then the center area for the reception. But this is gonna be really special because Whitney's gonna come out of the door right over here with her wedding party. And then she's gonna come out and she'll walk down this aisle here. When guests first come in, this is what they're gonna see. So this is where the guest will enter. So if you kind of can get this feel right here, they'll all come in. Isn't that beautiful? So guests will come in right here. So this is the approach. We've got some really cool sentimental things. You know, I tell couples it's really nice to be able to do something that's special, right? Do something that's very personal. So I try to talk to them about that. Jack and Whitney have been a fabulous, amazing couple to work with because very creative and very thorough, which is really nice. So this suitcase here was Jack's grandfather's. And so they had spoken to the florist about it. So she actually, I know, it's like right? The flowers are in tubes and they're in there, so they're not gonna, there's no water really, but those, we put the flowers in there, tied it all together. Family pictures of those who aren't here with us. Beautiful. And then their cards and gifts will go over there. If someone does bring a gift, we'll just kind of put it out on the front here, but most people nowadays bring, you know, cards. So we'll put them right in there. The nice thing about this wedding, what's really unique, is the girls are gonna carry baskets, really cute baskets they could use later for little purses if they wanted to. And all of their dresses are different colors. The guys have matching boutonnieres, the same colors as the girls' flowers that are in their baskets. And all of those flowers are tied in here. Look at the butterflies. I mean, this is just beautiful. So the wedding party family members gonna walk down this way. We practiced and rehearsed last night because they're military. So we practiced coming in and then squaring off. So I didn't want them to just, loop in. I wanted them to come across, stand, and then walk the aisle. Including the bride, I think it's really important for the presentation, no matter how far you are in distance, to really have that moment to just stand, right? I say soak it all in. This is your time. This is your moment. Take it all in. So when you come out, here they are. And she's gonna be walking with her dad, Kevin. And love the way they did the aisles here. The really cool thing about this, because Jack is in the military, he's a fighter pilot, we are going to have the Arch of Swords. So come this way. So on the aisles will be some of the guys that'll have their swords, and they're not going to come up until the very end. But so this is why there is this long distance between the chairs and the front to where the wedding party is going to be, because they're actually going to create this arch in front. So once the wedding's over, then they'll create an arch of swords on each side, right about here. So all of these flowers here will be moved after the ceremony over to the reception, and this will be part of the sweetheart table. So that's what we're working on. Sam's making sure these are all good. Everything looks beautiful. So everything that's over here, all of the flowers will get repurposed and put on the other side, including, if you look at all of these flowers will actually come out, any of the loose flowers, and we're gonna have a flower bar. So at the end of the night at 8:30, before the guests leave, the florist is gonna have someone here stationed that's gonna have a flower bar with cut paper, ribbons, different color ribbons to match the flowers. Guests can put together, their favorite rose with a couple of other pieces, some spray roses, and create a bouquet to go home. So that's one of their gifts for the guest at the wedding. So really creative idea, but that's because all of these flowers can come right out and can be used. So nothing goes to waste. Don't you love that? And so very unique idea. So with the baskets, with the very natural feel, the baskets for the girls, it's just, this property in itself, you really just don't need much, but it's the personal touches that I really like about it, because every time I see it, it looks different. Every time. I mean, there's a beautiful walking trail over here. You can walk along. The other side completely, some beautiful oak trees that have fallen that are still there, but down on the ground, just absolutely beautiful. So look at it, stunning. And you really don't have to do much. Some brides do a lot and they're very elaborate, some are very simple, but the reality is, look at all the greenery. It speaks for itself. And it's exceptionally kept up, which doesn't hurt. The Fernandeses have a wonderful property here. It's called the Oaks at Fernjoe, and it's one of my favorites. Truly is, because it is what it says. It's the oaks. It's covered by oak trees, and just a really beautiful piece of property. So for weddings, what we do is we got here about 9:30 this morning and started setting up. I have a whole book of things that we have. It's almost like a critical path, but not really. It's just something that we use as kind of our timeline. I send the timeline out to every vendor, so every vendor can independently have their timeline, and it's vendor-centric is what I call it, meaning it's designed for that vendor. DJ, he doesn't have to know what happens until he gets here at 2 o'clock when he starts to set up. Photographers, they start at 12:30. Whatever happens in the morning, they don't need to know. What they need to know is when they need to start, and the hairdressers and makeup, they need to know when the bride needs to be ready by, so when the photographer gets here, they're all good to go. So it is a combination of putting all the different vendors together, but what's so cool is I've met some new vendors today that I've never met before, and they're like, we feel like we know you. And that's because I really try to get to know them before I send them the timeline. I ask them questions if they have any questions, in regards to it. I always ask for feedback, because I'm not a photographer, I'm not a DJ, I don't pretend to be, so whatever works best for you, all I ask is that you get them there on time when we need them to be there. But as far as hair and makeup, how the schedule goes, whatever works, I don't care. And when I say that loosely because I do care, but the reality is I don't micromanage, and so therefore they do their job. All of them are professionals. All of the vendors here are amazing, very professional. They know what they need to do. It's not, I'm just here to kind of tie it all up, right? So once again, this is a property that, I enjoy outdoor properties and outdoor weddings. I do indoor events too. Actually, I just got hired to do 2 weddings, and they're both indoors, which is very unusual for me. Not that I can't, it's just that if you look on my website and you see what I've done, it started transitioning into outdoor spaces at some point, and I think it was probably even pushed more during COVID because weddings had to be outside. Well, I already knew how to do them, of course, because that's what I do. I mean, up in Yosemite or at somebody's home, you go from 250 people to 80 people. You still make it work, but it's different. Outdoors is different. We've got creatures, bugs, flies, spiders, butterflies, you name it. So it's about timing, but I do love the outdoor space, and it's for that reason, because no 2 weddings are ever the same, and you just never know what you're gonna get. I mean, it's 91 degrees today. It could have been last week when it was raining and pouring. So we can't control Mother Nature, although I try to have conversations with her. But the reality is you know what? She's going to do whatever she wants to do. And today it's warm, but it's perfect because it's just, for this type of wedding, it works well. I've done some weddings where it's poured and we didn't know it was going to pour. But we made it work, we made it work, and the guests were running around with us. The caterers had trash bags on, and they're trying to serve. The bride was so happy. I have pictures. I looked at the pictures last night, and this young lady, Stephanie, she just laughed and smiled. And I can see in the pictures just water, droplets of water just coming down. But you know what? It's only one day, right? And you make the most of it. Right? I mean, this is your wedding day. I tell brides, you know what? This is your day. It's not about being stressed out. I know a lot of things pop up. And I can say this, my bride this morning came to me and she goes, Leslie, this is very emotional. And I go, do you know how many brides have said to me, you never told me it was going to be like this? And you just never know. But it's okay to cry on your wedding because it is so full of emotions. And these girls, the couples work so hard. They work so hard. This is a lot of work to put on a wedding. And so I really try to show their vision. And I think we've accomplished Whitney's and Jack's vision so well. And I have worked with them for over a year. So I know what they like. I know their personality. I've gotten to know it better, which as a planner, as a full service planner, that's what I do. I spend sometimes a year and a half with people. And I do start to know what they like and what they don't like, which makes it easier towards the end because then they don't have to make those important decisions at the very end. I know what they're going to be comfortable with at the end. So that's really nice too. And every couple's different, but as a full service planner, that's what I like to do. I like to get to know people. I like to get to know their families. I like to be able to be there if things change. Like, how can I help? And a lot of people say they think of me as family. And I hope they do, because that's really important to me. You don't want anyone to do your wedding, right? You want it to be someone who cares about you and you care about them, because this is one of the most important days you're ever gonna have, right? So this is the Oaks at Fernjo. Let's see, where else shall I take you? Whitney, my bride, is about to do their first look pretty soon, but I think the girls are gonna be doing their independent pictures. So part of the timeline is getting their pictures done, and they've decided to do a first look. And what a first look is that they will see each other before the ceremony. So that is rehearsed, not rehearsed, it's planned. It's on the timeline. Everybody knows it's not like just a casual get together. At 2:30, they're gonna come together with their photographers, and they're gonna actually meet each other for the first time as they're all dressed up getting ready to be married. So that is the first look, so they're getting ready to do that. Some couples choose not to have a first look. It's a personal choice. I gotta tell you this, after just newly married, I should have had a first look. I hope my husband doesn't see that. Here's the reality of the first look. There's a lot of emotions when you get married, and when you have the first look, you can get those cries out, those tears, and sometimes it kind of takes the edge off. Also for timing, depending on what time of year you get married, luckily right now we have a lot of sunlight. But in the spring, earlier, before daylight changes, we don't. And so when you try to have your wedding and maybe you don't do a first look, then all of your couple pictures are done after the ceremony, which means you have less time. So now they're getting their portrait pictures out of the way, but they can also do more portrait pictures after dinner for sunset pictures. They can do family pictures right now. They can do wedding party pictures now because they've already seen each other, right? Now, I will say this, the emotions of not having a first look, for me personally, was truly valid and was extremely so special. Not a dry eye in the house. Kid you not. Everyone cried like no other because they felt our emotions. They got to see that the first time my husband saw me walk down the aisle. So that was shared by the guest. And so it's whatever you want for your wedding. It's not, you know, I'm a wedding planner, it's your wedding, not mine, and I want to see you smile. That's kind of the thing I always tell people, because it's about your day. I can tell someone all of the things that work and be very methodical about it, and then at the end of that conversation, what do you want to do? Because whatever you want to do, I'll do my best to try to make it work for you. You know, this is what is customary, but it doesn't have to be this way. It could be whatever you want. The order, the way you stand, who comes in first, whatever feels good. The guests don't know what you don't know. There's no like playbook for a wedding, right? If you do something different, people might say, my gosh, that's really different. And so it's whatever feels good. If you wanna do your welcome, right after you walk in, do your welcome. If you wanna dance first, dance first. Doesn't matter, right? Just really doesn't. I'm gonna meet the caterer over here. Oh, there, he's figured it out without me. So we actually have appetizer caterer. It's called Eldest. And then we have the dinner caterer, which is Taco San Marcos. And so we're gonna have tacos. But Eldest has, oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. And this is totally different than the dinner. Dinner's tacos. He's got sliders, he's got fig, specialties, just amazing different kind of food. So they're parked right here. This is the guest parking lot. So what we're gonna do is, because appetizers are gonna get served over here, so they will have to pass through here, a little bit of a walk, but that's okay. Because he works out of his trailer, he wanted to be off to the side, and that way no one can hear his trailer going. So it works, it works. So Andres from Eldest is the name of his company, and they're out of Hanford. So let's see, Taco San Marcos should be coming in about half an hour. And our DJ Red Rock, will be here. Renee from the Cellar Door. I'm super excited. He and I did the very first wedding here, I believe in 2019, when this first opened. And we did a brunch. We did a Sunday brunch. It started at 10 o'clock. And so he was the DJ. It was the first time I ever met him, like really met him. And now Cellar Door, we do our events there, business strategy. And so he's gonna be our DJ today. He's actually not doing the music for the ceremony. They're gonna have a acoustic guitarist. And so, but Renee is gonna be here just for sound, just in case, which I love, because as a professional, he's like, I can't just come in just for, you know, cocktail hour or at the end. So he wants to be here just in case they need sound equipment, things aren't amplifying properly, it'll all be done. So this is what the guests will see. So after the ceremony, the guests will walk through here. And like I said, that seating chart, we're gonna have the cocktail tables, we're gonna be dressed, and they're gonna be around the pool. The bar will be over here. So guests can go get their drinks, they'll have their cocktails over here. This will be the seating chart, and then they can go towards the tables. So, you know, there's like things you think of. So We like to put the table numbers where people can see them. So if you notice, it's not in the center of the table because there can be a lot of things in the center of a table. So we've got the table 5 here, right? And what's really cool is the couple have their own koozies. Isn't that cute with their dog? So this is pretty much a table setup, but like I said earlier, there are no candles on here yet. So imagine we're gonna have cylinder vases, we're gonna have votive cups. We've got a difference between the round tables and the farm tables. And this is what we do. So imagine yesterday, none of this was here. None of it. And I love that. Beautiful dance floor. The rentals are from CT Events. And this is a great dance floor. This is a 20 by 20 dance floor. Really, really nice. It's the checkered, but what I like is for outdoor events, it's not wood, it's actually a poly, so it's movable, it's bendable. Comes up very easy in the 4x4 sections. So it's almost just like a puzzle, but it's very sturdy. It goes well on the grass. I believe there is a plywood underneath, but the nice thing is it can come up quickly. A lot of dance floors take a lot more time, and CT is so gracious because they'll pick up on Sundays, which means that this does not stay on the homeowner's lawn all weekend. And that happens sometimes where they don't pick up till Monday, and then so the grass has already started just, dying by the vines. So I know Chef Andres wants to see me. Do you need me? Do you need me? Okay. So they're gonna pick this up tomorrow morning, probably really early. One of the things that's really nice about weddings and about any events are lounge areas. So CT's does have some great lounges, but one of the things that Whitney wanted is she wanted her own lounge set, something really nice here. We actually moved one of the chairs because we did her dress out here. The photographer did not do the typical hanging dress photo. She actually did this shoot with her chairs and everything. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Do you want to bring them back here? And then I'll meet you right over there and take you in, okay? All right. Very, very considerate. So Andres from Eldest is gonna have trays for the wedding party, which is really nice because after they do their first look, they can go back into the house and have some snacks. It's amazing because people forget to eat and they forget to drink. And this is a long day, right? And a lot of couples will say to me, oh, we're gonna dance all night, we're gonna dance till midnight, we're gonna have a great time. And I will say to them, I have had couples do this at around 10 o'clock, right? They're like, Leslie, we're so done. But it's just that it's such a long day. You start early, the girls have been up since 7 with hair and makeup. And so it's a lot. So they forget to eat, they forget to drink something. And then of course you want to drink a beverage. And so you need to have some water behind that and some food, right? Our couple tonight, they decided right after at the end of the night, they got a private car from Absolute Comfort, and it's gonna be a really nice one of his brand new Escalades, gorgeous. And so that's gonna pick them up. They were gonna have them pick them up later. I said, have it come earlier because we can always just hang out. They can always just wait a half an hour. We can load your things into it. But when you're ready to go, I want you to be able to go home, right? So that's gonna be really nice for them to have a personal car and not have to worry about how they're gonna get home. Everything has been personalized for this wedding. It's just it's a great day. Okay, so I have Andre Elizondo here.
Hello.
From Eldest Catering.
Yeah, Eldest Catering. Yeah.
Okay, and you are here, you're gonna do the appetizers for
Yes,
Whitney's
we're doing the
Jeff's.
past appetizers today. We have a ahi tuna poke cone.
Oh my gosh.
As well as a fig and brie with a little jamon serrano grilled cheese sandwiches for past appetizers.
Nice, nice. And so I know they went and had a tasting with you.
Yes.
They had picked a couple of selections
Yes,
and narrowed it
we
down.
like to do like a craft amount of things. Like what's the term they say? Bespoke.
Okay.
So we like to make sure we fit within people's budget and their taste on their profile. It's like,
Good.
I'm classically French trained, but I've done food, everything from Indian to Japanese profiled food. So
Nice.
I like to make sure we can touch every basis and make sure they get what they want.
That's so good. So good.
Original tasting, we had 15 items for them to choose from, and they're like, oh, well, you know.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, some people like those choices, but I also want to make sure they can see what they get in different price points.
And yes, and you don't know unless you get to taste it and see
Exactly.
it. Yes, and we did. So we did a birthday party together.
Yes, that was fun.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, it was all from scratch too. So.
Oh, this food was so good. And so, so the process for that is I had worked with you. Actually, I hadn't worked with you. We had spoken.
Yeah.
We came out here and did the site visit.
Correct. And then I believe a couple weeks after that, we solidified
and I said,
Tonka's 40th birthday.
Yes, but I had never tasted your food before.
No.
I didn't know if you knew that. And I went out I said, for some, I know his food's going to be amazing.
Yes,
and your wife, you're so welcome. And I did, because here I am. I believe in selling what I give to my clients, and I believe in standing behind it. But something told me, and I told Vanessa, something told me that your food was going to be amazing. And and it's the presentation, it's someone's background. I know how you're trained, I know what's important to you. And so just that in itself, this client, for me, it was really important that we had something unique.
Yeah, Jack and Whitney, I had the pleasure of first meeting them at Thursday Night Market in Hanford, which will be back again this year.
Right.
Next week, actually. Wow.
It was, I know.
Yeah, so it was fun to get to meet them and know them through that with their original.
Yes.
They wanted our cauliflower, but a fried item in bulk is a little bit hard to do a la minute.
Yes.
When I don't have the space. But again, we were able to get them to go with something else that they thoroughly enjoyed and were happy with. So
and then for Donka's party, the things we went with is I sent her the menu of the things I had seen, and then she said, these are things I don't want, these are things I do like, but I kind of just picked, and then we figured it out together.
Like I said, we want to make sure we're touching the base of like what people enjoy, and we're presenting that because, again, I am classically trained, and I am, to be a culinarian, so to speak, as a student of life. I like to get any kind of influence or tastes from anywhere I can. Feel like, especially when we're in the Central Valley and have some of the best produce in the world within 150 miles of where we currently reside. I was in St. Louis at a hospital, and I was unpacking tomatoes from Huron. I'm like, it's like I'm over here in the middle of the country. I'm like,
and I've got
these tomatoes were grown 25 minutes away from where I grew
Isn't that
up.
wonderful?
So it's just like, what am I doing?
Yes. Well,
so that moment was the calling. It was like, no, you got to do your own.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being
it's a pleasure,
here.
and we're looking forward to serving and being part of a moment like this. These are amazing, and they always touch close to home, especially me and my wife. 20 years now married. And,
wow.
It's a celebration of life and love. So looking forward to it and being a part of it.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Honestly, working with Leslie has been like absolutely amazing. I started working with her about 2-3 years ago, and literally she has so much energy in this little body, and I don't know how she's like all over the place at the same time, but still like looking absolutely perfect. But honestly, love Leslie. She really has been like such an inspiration for me and like a role model, and I'm really glad that I started working with her.
Well, thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I can't wait to see you next time.